Hey, this is Dwight Turner. You're watching and listening to Perched on Hollywood.
One of the very first things I noticed on your IMDb page was actually one of my favorite TV shows, A Thousand Ways to Die.
I thought you were going to say Chicago Fire, but A Thousand Ways. Well, you know, A Thousand Ways to Die really has a cult following, and I did not even realize how much of a cult following that show has until I did the show. And I mean, you'd be surprised how many times I have been out and someone comes up to me because they recognize me from A Thousand Ways to Die. And the weirdest story I ever have from being recognized from A Thousand Ways to Die was I once had a lady say to me, she said, "Are you an actor?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "I recognize your voice. Were you on A Thousand Ways to Die?" And she had I guess, watched that episode. They'd rerun it, and she recognized my voice from it. And I was like, wow. So that was a first.
Awesome. From what I know, you played the character, and it's not even a character really, because it's based on, real life.
A true story.
That happened. And you played Lenny. I did try to find it online, but I had a hard time finding it. Could you tell fans actually what happened to Lenny?
Well, what happened to Lenny was very unfortunate, as is the case with most of, basically almost every episode of A Thousand Ways to Die. So Lenny was not the nicest person in the world, and he was running a Ponzi scheme. And the feds caught on to the Ponzi scheme. Keep in mind, this is a true story. The feds caught on to the Ponzi scheme, and he had got tipped off that they were coming to raid his office. So he and his secretary began shredding all the documents, trying to get rid of evidence. And unfortunately, what happened was, do you remember those metal buckyballs that you would make little sculptures out of?
Yes.
So he loved boba drinks, and he would drink boba drinks all the time. He got mad during this whole thing with finding out the feds were coming, and he had a sculpture on his desk. He grabbed it, threw it onto the desk in anger, and 2 of the buckyballs went into his boba drink. And he drank them along with those little boba balls, did not realize he was drinking the metal balls, magnetic balls. If it had just been 1, he would have been fine. But 2 ended up doing this and did not turn out well for him. Poor Lenny didn't make it.
Well, rest in peace, Lenny. That is wow. Wow.
I will give you a little, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm going to tell this story, but I'll give you a little tidbit, a little something that most people would never know from filming that day. So this was filmed out in California, and they filmed 2 episodes a day of that show. And the episode before my episode, so the episode that was filmed that morning, was about a guy who died and bugs were involved. And they brought in actually live bugs for that episode. Well, they had a hard time getting rid of all of them. So when it came time to film my episode, they were still having an issue. So they came in with they had to bring an exterminator in and try to get rid of all the bugs. And I'm thinking I'm going to be poisoned by all of these chemicals. But you know what? It turned out to be a lot of fun. It was a fun show to work on, and definitely memorable. And to this day, when I go back and I see footage from that, I still laugh myself. Not that it's funny what happened to him, but just